Big dog! Get the big dogs out!
You gotta be real.
Give him a follow, guys.
Do it!
At White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home. Our Migrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I mean, everything is put in front of it. I mean, you know, all Italian food, basically. And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
White House Senior Living, where residents feel like presidents.
Good morning to you guys. Good morning to you, DJ Wonder Chrissy, and today is Tuesday, March 19th. It's voting day. It is voting day, and Susie Q and myself, we went out and voted early yesterday. Pretty good crowd, but we're hearing that more troubling news out of Chicago. Their pre-voting is down 50%. So normally their vote volume is pretty low. Like only 45% of the people, let me say that again, 45% of the residents of Chicago are registered to vote. And on any given, the last election where they voted in the left-wing loony Brandon Johnson, they only had like a 38% show rate of the people that were registered. So you got 45% of people that are registered, and then only like 38% of the people showed up to vote. And that was for mayor. That was when they had people voting on mayor. So and now the Chicago's got a big tax being put on the ballot this time, and it went through some litigation, and it may still end up in the courts. But anyway, they want to do kind of like it's called the mansion tax, similar to what they did in Los Angeles, but the dollar amount level kicks in at over $1 million. So if you're selling any property over $1 million, it's going to add a tax that goes for the homeless. And you know where this money's going. It's going to help the newcomers, the border buddies, the illegal immigrants find housing. Low-income housing has been an issue in Chicago for many, many years. Then the migrants show up. Do you think there's any low-income housing to be had now? It's vanished, folks. It's vanished. Low-income housing in Chicago is a thing of the past now with all these immigrants coming in and sucking it all up. So let's listen to this video where they talk about the mansion tax a little bit, and they don't get into it too deep, but it's going to have far-reaching implications on housing in Chicago, and think of all those office buildings that some of these banks are sitting on, and what they're going to have to pay when they sell those, if they ever sell them, with this new added tax that's supposed to bring in $100 million a year for the homeless.
That the Bring Home Chicago tax plan was unconstitutional. A state appellate court reverses that decision, and now the controversial real estate tax referendum is back on the ballot.
This would hike the real estate tax on properties that sell for
Yeah, they took it off the ballot, and then they appealed it and had it put back on the ballot. So we'll see what happens. So they're going to have, people are forced to vote on it. But it may or may not be legal, so more to happen on that in the courts.
Over $1 million. The extra funds then going to help the city pay for services to help Chicago's homeless. NBC5's Natalie Martinez has reaction to this move tonight.
You may have seen these in your mail for primary ballot question 1, a tax on real.
This is AOC's Tax the Rich in action, folks. This is although doesn't take much. Like a 3 flat in Chicago will go over $1 million. So it's going to hit the people at the lower rungs too. And then after you find out, they're saying, a lot of the 3 flats are being rented, and if you're taxing those people, guess what? Your rents are going to go up. Go figure.
Real estate developers to fund affordable housing. Bring Chicago Home Coalition's Dixon Romeo.
It's a good thing. It means that there is no confusion.
An Illinois appellate court ruling Wednesday afternoon puts the question on Chicago's real estate transfer tax increase for properties over $1 million back on the ballot.
We're really clear on where this money needs to go. Permanent, supportive housing with wraparound services.
Opponents like the Neighborhood Building Owners Alliance say it could hurt commercial real estate.
Taxes on housing is not the solution.
And this bill ultimately, if the property is over 1.5 million, it's going to like triple the tax on that property. Go figure, right? Triple the tax, and it's gonna help. It's gonna help with low income housing somehow.
Solution, more housing is the solution, and this tax is getting in the way of development.
The Building Owners and Managers Association calls the referendum question misleading and manipulative, saying in a statement in part, "We are disappointed in the outcome of this case." Mayor Brandon Johnson vehemently supports the so-called mansion tax.
The people of Chicago should determine how we address the unhoused crises.
Opponents sued, and a Cook County judge rejected the ballot measure last month, but today's ruling means the votes will count.
Absolutely 100% correct, but it's only step one.
Election attorney Bert Odelson vehemently points out that the court did not rule on the merits of the question itself.
It's about the process, and the courts don't give advisory opinions. They give opinions on real live controversies. This is not a controversy yet.
The yes-no multi-part question itself took him a minute and a half just to read.
This question was poorly written. If it gets passed and then goes back to the city council to pass an ordinance to this effect, then it's law.
After the election, you can look forward to more litigation depending on whether this passes or fails. At City Hall, Natalie Martinez, NBC5 News.
So there you have it. So when we voted yesterday, Susie Q and myself, we voted. Yes, we voted. Yeah. We even got a sticker. We got one of those stickers. I voted. Yeah, we came away with a sticker. I voted. But anyway, I'm telling you what they're doing around here. They're not adding it to you. The last thing they want to do is add the tax to your real estate tax, because then people can compare from one year to the next. They're adding these sales taxes and fees and stuff that people don't notice, right? You don't notice you pay that tax when you sell your house, or you're paying it when you buy something in a grocery store. So it's almost like it's invisible. Right? That's what they're doing in my town. They don't. The last thing they want to do is add a tax to your property tax, because when they do that, you're gonna see, it was $7,000 last year. Now it's $8,000. Wow, what's happening? Right? And then you feel it. Then you can monitor it. Then you can figure it out. No. They want to add it to the store taxes and fees and user fees and all sorts of stuff like that. Politicians are smart, folks. I'm here to tell you the politicians are smart on the way that they tax. And I live in one of the highest tax counties in the nation. And that's what they do. They try to hide it from you. So be careful, and watch out over your politicians, because they just want your money. That's all they do. They just want your money. So let's look at the Chicago voting. They're saying that voting could be off big time in Chicago, and I'm here to tell you that.
Illinois primary election.
Let's get this one up here. I'm here to tell you, I don't think the people in Chicago have woken up. I don't. I saw a video of a protest in Gage Park on Sunday, and maybe 25 people showed up. Yet everyone's up in arms about the illegals. So And I know some people that live in Chicago, and actually one of them is a Polish immigrant, and she gets, when we talk about politics in Chicago, she gets pissed off. Yeah, I'll just be blunt. She gets pissed off. But when I asked her, well, do you vote? And she says no, she didn't have time, or comes up with some excuse. So there's no excuse for not voting, folks. There is no excuse for not voting. It's your civic duty. If you're a citizen, it is your civic duty to vote. So here's a little, pre-voting, because today's the voting day. So this basically looks at the counts of pre-voting and mail-in voting that they've received so far. So let's get the bad news from City of Chicago.
Primary election.
And as we speak, voters are making their way to the polls to cast their early ballots. Casey Cronus is live at the voting super.
Beautiful Casey Cronus.
Hey, Casey.
Well, Terrence and Sylvia, things have been steady here, but not nearly as busy as election officials would like to see. Any registered voter in Chicago, no matter what ward you live in, can come to the super site here in the Loop to cast your ballot. And officials with the Chicago Election Commission are urging people to get out and vote, because right now, voter turnout here in Chicago...
Yeah, get out and vote. Otherwise, you might get stuck with that mansion tax, or otherwise, that's what happened when people forgot to vote and Brandon Johnson slid through the door, folks.
Is low compared to previous elections, down about 50% compared to...
Down 50, that's 5-0, folks. 5-0, that's a huge downfall. So where are all those people that are upset with the illegals in Chicago? I don't know. If it was me, I'd be voting. So Chicago is got some issues, and it's going down for the count. When I hear numbers like this, I'm thinking it's over in Chicago. The death spiral has already begun in Chicago and is in progress, and you're not stopping it when the voting results like this are just so apathetic. So we'll see at the end of today how bad they were. As I told you before, the last election last year, which was voting for the mayor, came in with 38%. 38%, and I think we're on track here to come below that today.
To this point, leading up to the 2020 and 2016 primaries. That goes for mail-in ballots and in-person early voting. Roughly 60,000 vote-by-mail ballots have been returned this year, while a total of 177,000 were requested for this election.
There you go. People requested. Only a third of the people voted so far that requested a ballot. Oh, by mail.
Meanwhile, Max Bever of the Chicago Board of Elections breaks down the surprising numbers for in-person early voting.
Unfortunately, early voting...
This is where he goes over the numbers, folks. Pay attention.
It's been a little bit sluggish comparatively to our previous presidential primaries, but even our municipal elections. We just saw over 72,000 ballots cast as of last night. For the 2020 election, we were already over 150,000 early votes.
Look at that. So 77 compared to 150, way down, 50% down or more.
The 2016 election, we were already over 130,000 early votes. So that's a little troublesome to see.
Just a little, and then throw the illegals taking over the city, and nobody wants to vote. It boggles my mind.
Now, voting sites tomorrow open at 6 a.m. You do not need to bring a photo ID with you, but it can help if there is a question about your voter registration. And if you aren't yet registered to vote, you can do so on the spot, in person. Reporting live in the Loop, Casey Cronus, Fox 32, Chicago.
So there you go. Now you understand why I have no hope for the city of Chicago. It's done, folks. City of Chicago is done. It's. Whoa, what's going on here? We got a.
Election in November.
Yeah.
No reason to stay away from the polls tomorrow.
Chicago is toast. I have no love for Chicago. I won't take the CTA. Check out my videos on what's going on the CTA. It's just too dangerous to interact with the public in Chicago, and it's getting worse. The commercial real estate is taking a toll on Chicago too. The Mag Mile, one of the premier shopping destinations in Chicago, 30% empty. The Loop, the business core of the city of Chicago, is also 30% empty. 50% of the people came back. So, businesses are dropping like flies in Chicago. If you're a restaurant, a bar, or a little corner store, you're looking for consumers left and right, because they're hard to find these days. A lot of people are working from home. A lot of buildings are sitting 50% filled. That's not a good number. 50% will bring a building down. So, the commercial real estate collapse is happening in Chicago as we sit here and do this video. So it's just as bad as San Francisco and New York City. So there you have it, folks. Hope you get out and vote today. If you're voting in your area, do your civic duty. You gotta do your civic duty. Vote. And as always, this is breaking news, right? We're bringing you breaking news. There we go, breaking news. So there you go. I don't know what to tell you guys. Don't know what to tell you. What do we have behind this door? Okay,
you ready?
humor.
Oh shit! Yeah. Here it comes. Okay, I'm ready.
Here it comes.
Who said do?
There you go. We'll end the show with this funny little clip that we played at the start. No, that's not it. That's a big dog. Big dog. Look at that dog will eat you alive.
You gotta be real. Give him a follow, guys.
Do it. Like, share, subscribe, do
At
it.
White House Senior Living, our residents feel right at home.
We're presidents are
Our
residents.
vibrant facility offers delightful activities and outings, round-the-clock professional care, and exquisite house-made meals.
Well, I've been eating everything that's put in front of me. I've been eating all Italian food, basically. And ice cream, chocolate chip ice cream.
Chocolate
White House
ice
Senior
cream.
Living, where residents feel
Joey's got to
like
have his
presidents.
ice cream. There you go, folks. DJ Wonder Chrissy. Hope you enjoyed the show. Get out and vote. Damn you. Vote, vote, vote. And don't vote for any of these silly taxes. We've taxed enough. We're taxed into oblivion. Over and out, DJ Wonder Chrissy.